Good evening. You've made it here to a quiet corner of the night. There is rain outside, steady and soft, and here only gentle words. This is not advice, not judgment, only a calm reflection for the ones who carry love and sometimes feel it slip through tired hands. Tonight, we name a tender truth. The greatest mistake many wives make is not about sacrifice. It is about words that wound. Let's breathe together. Let's open the space with gentleness. We often believe that families struggle because of money, because of pressure, because of life's storms. But often, what weighs a man down the most is not the world outside. It is the tone of voice inside his own home. When dissatisfaction rises, words spill quickly, not only about today, but about yesterday, last month, even years gone by. We think we are guiding, helping him improve, but men do not listen with their ears. They listen with their pride. The more they hear blame, the smaller they feel. The more they hear criticism, the colder they grow. A man's inner wiring was shaped to face the weight of the world, not the sharpness of constant reproach in the place he longs to rest. And so it happens. He steps inside, shoes still on his feet, and already he hears, "Why are you late? I do everything in this house alone." Such words do not destroy instantly, but they cut quietly. They cut into love itself. There comes a silence in the room. The wife speaks more. The husband speaks less. The sharper her words, the colder his gaze. And when tears fall, he turns away, not out of cruelty, but out of weariness, a quiet defense of his own heart. Women feel deeply. Tears come easily. Hearts bruise quickly. Men may seem steady, but inside they are deeply sensitive to respect. Respect is the language their hearts recognize. And in the very moment when we long most for protection, our own words may be the very thing that breaks what we hoped to keep. Every soul carries the same quiet need to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be treated with dignity. No husband returns home hoping for a battlefield. No wife truly wants to turn her home into a place of fear. Yet when words are thrown like stones, walls rise quickly. The house feels heavy. Conversations shrink into silence. That man may not be perfect. He may not yet earn as much as you dreamed. He may not be as gentle, as attentive as you hoped. But he is still the one you once chose. He is the father of your children, and beneath his quiet, he longs for the same thing you long for. A home where he is not on trial, but at peace. Something begins to shift when the voice softens, when we pause before speaking, when we leave space for silence. That silence is not emptiness. It is breathing room. It is trust being built quietly, like roots beneath the soil. Gentleness is not weakness. It is power, shaped in a different form. A power that invites instead of commands. A power that draws someone closer instead of pushing them away. When a wife learns to speak less sharply, to listen more deeply, the man beside her feels it. Not with his ears, but with his pride, his heart, his longing to be trusted. And in that safe space, he begins to change. Not because he was scolded, but because he feels believed in. Every word we release carries a direction. It can build a wall, or it can open a door. It can wound, or it can heal. The choice rests in the moment before we speak, in the breath we take, in the tone we choose, in the silence we allow. A harsh voice may win the argument, but a gentle voice protects the bond. And in the long run, what matters is not who was right, but whether love was kept alive. This is the quiet honesty of marriage, that the home we long for is shaped not by grand sacrifices, but by the everyday words that either bruise or bless. Imagine the home not as a courtroom, but as a shelter, a place where both can stumble and still be received, where mistakes are not kept as records, but allowed to pass like clouds. Respect does not mean silence. It does not mean swallowing pain. It means choosing when to speak and how. The right word at the right time, spoken with a steady voice, can do what endless scolding cannot. It can draw the heart back home. When space is given, something subtle awakens. A man who feels trusted begins to stand taller. Not because he was commanded, but because he wishes to live up to the faith placed in him. A gentle word has the power to unlock responsibility. A listening silence can stir a man's desire to carry more, to protect more, to give more. The shift is quiet, almost invisible at first, but it grows. Like warmth spreading through a room, it changes the air. And soon, the man who once turned away may begin turning toward, not because he was forced, but because he feels safe enough to return. Think of the patience we offer to a colleague, the gentle tone we save for a friend, the way we measure our words when speaking to a boss. We know how to choose kindness in those places. We know how to soften our voice so it does not wound. Yet somehow, with the one beside us every day, we forget. We let go of tenderness. We speak with sharp edges. But marriage, more than any workplace, more than any friendship, is the place most in need of care. If we can shape our tone for others, why not for the one who shares our table, our nights, our life? It is not about bowing low. It is about lifting the bond higher, about protecting what is sacred with words that preserve instead of words that break. In the end, it is not perfection that holds a marriage. It is not flawless timing, nor endless sacrifice. It is the small, steady choice to guard the tongue, to pause when anger rises, to shape words so they protect, not pierce. Each gentle phrase becomes a thread, and over time, those threads weave the fabric of safety, of belonging, of home. This is how love endures, not through battles of right and wrong, but through daily acts of care, through words that bless, through tones that soothe, through silences that heal. And when both hearts are met with this softness, they find their way back to each other again and again. Tonight, we have walked through tender ground. We named the ache of words that wound. We unraveled the silence that follows, and we reframed the path toward gentleness. Now let the weight lift. Let the night carry away what no longer serves. The rain outside is steady, soft. Let it remind you, storms pass. Harshness can soften. Love can return. You are not asked to be perfect, only present, only willing to pause, to breathe, to choose words that guard the bond you cherish. So may your home be lighter. May your voice be gentler. May your nights be calmer. And may the one beside you feel in your presence not a battlefield, but a safe place to rest. Good night. Rest well.